This is DJ Soul Sweet, aka Soully, of soulinterviews.com. You are listening to the hottest talk show around with my main man, Clark Garrison. Peace out.
You're listening to the hottest show out, The Conversation with Clark and Michelle.
Hey, this is Andy Allo, and you're listening to Talk Radio's hottest duo, Clark and Michelle, on The Conversation.
We are back. This is The Conversation on the Survival Radio Network. I am your host, Clark Garrison. Over there is Michelle Gilliam, Hit Woman Morrissey. Hey, our first guest is a business coach and consultant, speaker, trainer, and the author of the book, Yes, I Can, Develop My Idea and Start My Own Business. Please welcome the host of Cap Builder Talk, which airs right here on the Survival Radio Network Monday nights, 8:30 p.m., the one and only Mr. Marc Parham in the house. What up, Mark P?
Hey, how you doing? What's going on?
What's going on, brother?
Well, I tell you first what's going on is that you said right, you said the hottest show on the Survivor Radio Network, and you said Mark. Okay. You did do that right. I just let you know.
I'm gonna interject because the little petty thought that I had going on in my head was, yes, it's that Marc Parham, the reason why Clark and Michelle can't hit number one in the network anymore.
Right, yeah, that's it. That's
you came on the scene, and the rest has been history.
It's all good. As long as we get that clear, we can move on. You know,
you know what? I will definitely give deference where deference is due. So Mark, we brought you on, man, to really talk about an important topic to you, which is business, and more importantly, small businesses. Before we start and go down the road to that, can you talk to us about, just for people to have a background of you, where did you learn your business acumen from, or what was that journey like for you?
Well, I tell you, I learned it by being in business, okay? You know, I was one of those people, even at 11 years old, I was doing something. But I started my first serious business here in Atlanta when I moved here. I had an engineering company for about 11 years. And I just started. I didn't know it was going to grow that big, but I learned so much through a lot of pain and suffering, so that after I got through, because I like to write and I keep track of things, I started kind of documenting it, you know, what I went through. And I developed, you know, a kind of a coaching program. The corporation used to hire me to come fix stuff. Oh, this department's not running good, or this product's not being implemented properly. So I learned how to coach. You know, and go into situations, you know, people hired me I was that guy that flew in, I showed up, and we're closing the company down, and y'all all got to go. Okay. And so I learned human resources. I learned just about every aspect of running a business. And because I like to write and do what I do, I just started working on helping small businesses understand what this game really is. You know, a lot of times people just say they want to get out there and, you know, start a business, but it's more than that. And that's how I got to where I am right today. You know, just trying to help people understand this significance.
And I like to iterate that not only do companies hire you out, but I understand you even got an invitation from our President Obama to sit down with a panel of small business gurus.
Yeah. Well, and that happened because, you know, and this is, I'm glad you brought it up, because it's important that as a small business, you insert yourself into other situations. So I started going to the White House a number of years ago. Every time I heard some kind of small business summit was going on, and I'd be on the first row asking questions because we got a chance to meet with White House officials. So during the shutdown in 2013, he decided he wanted to speak with small business people, but he wanted somebody that represented small business. And because I'd been to so many functions through an organization called Business Forward, he asked them, and they sent my name in my bio. And he read it and said, I want this guy here, And so that's what happened. It was kind of funny because they wouldn't tell me. They called and said, do you want to meet with a senior White House official? And I've been used to meeting with those. I was like, sure. I had no idea who it was really going to be. Okay.
The senior White House official.
The senior, yeah. So it's really cool because I tell you what, he gave all of us a chance to say what we felt, and my comments were 13 people shut down the whole government. Okay? And I'm trying to convince people to go into business for themselves and get money from the SBA and things like this. And they're looking at me like, wait a minute now. I'm going to take my whole life and invest in a certain small business and work with the SBA, and they're closed today? No.
Good point.
So yeah, and so that's what I told him. I just explained to him how the people that I dealt with felt. So it was a very cool experience, something I'll probably never forget. It's so funny because when I was flying back, I had my little bag. I brought a little bag up there, had the White House seal on it so everybody knew where I had been. And when people didn't ask me about the meeting, everybody just asked me, is he as cool as he looks like he is?
Wow. And what's the answer to that?
The answer was 100%. I swear, when that brother strolled into the room, he should have had his own theme music.
He probably did. Wow.
Yeah, so it was a good experience, but the experience came because I invested the time and money to put myself out there. Okay.
And going down that rabbit hole, I want to ask you this question because this sets up where we're going to go with this. So, in any event, and I'm sure we could rack our head and not come up with probably one. Anytime someone is looking to become a professional in sports, in music, or in any kind of realm, one always thinks about hiring the best coach to take them to the next level. Why is it that in business, when you are becoming a professional in business, it almost never dawns to us to hire a coach?
Well, I think first off, when you start a business, a lot of times you're doing it because it's something you're passionate about. So I don't think you really put yourself on the professional level. Hey, I love making cakes, so I'm going to go in the cake making business. Okay? I don't need any help because I've been making these cakes for 40 years or 20 years or whatever. But I think it's an attitude with small business that they use the word small. It's kind of I don't need no coach. It's only when we try to change their mindset that you want to be a big small business or you want to be a small business that they really realize, okay, that they have to really step it up if they want to take it to another level. But most small businesses start from passion, and it's kind of a limiting mindset that occurs.
Okay, Mark, I'm going to jump in here and ask a question really quickly because you talked about, you didn't use the terminology trial and error, but you basically said you learned about business by going into business. What are some things that we definitely need to prepare for before going in business, and what are some things that you won't know until you get there?
I'll tell you what, the thing that tripped me up was I did not really understand money. I didn't really understand funding. I didn't understand, the IRS and taxes and things like this. And that's what tripped me up. Instead of developing a relationship with the bank manager when I was depositing my check, I'm trying to impress the tellers up front. Look at $10,000 not a check. Hey, how you like me now? Okay. Well, what I should have been doing is developing a relationship with the bank manager. So when I was short a little bit or had to run payroll and the check wasn't coming till Monday, they'd let the stuff float through. Okay, but that was my major. When I tell people what was my major hiccup in running a business, that's what it was, really understanding money and the significance of really how things work with banking and the IRS and loans and things like that. And as far as, things I learned after or while you're in business, the second thing was, believe it or not, if you start a service-based business, you got to hire people. If you don't really understand human resource, how to hire people and then fire people, I mean, you can fire somebody improperly, they can sue you out of business. Okay, so that whole human resource, because if you're a solo practitioner, you're used to doing it yourself. This is the way I do it. Okay, but when you hire people, they may have to do it the way they do it. Okay, and so to me, the whole human resource issue is one of the major issues that an entrepreneur that wants to grow their business has to get their hands around.
Okay, and to follow up on that response, who are some of the key team players that we need to, when I say outsource, meaning professional assistants that we should really aspire and make a priority to get on our team? You talked about a tax person. Who else would you say were key team players?
It just so happens, I'd say you got to hire a good business coach. How about that? Or a mentor. I was very fortunate because a couple people that had big businesses in Washington, kind of mentored me. So they were my business coach. I could call them. Like when the IRS called me to the carpet, I was all upset, and I called my mentor, and he said, "Welcome to entrepreneurship." Okay. All right, hey, this is what's going to happen. So I didn't feel like I knew I made a mistake, but it was a mistake that other entrepreneurs have made. So so having a good mentor, coach, or someone like that is imperative because, you can't talk to your friends about it, can't talk to your families about it. You need somebody you can talk to about your business, and somebody can give you some good advice. And the second person is all about the money. You got to get a good accountant that understands taxes, a CPA or somebody like that, so they can help you watch your money. Okay, So I was very fortunate that I had a young man that was a partner of mine that was a young man. He was a good bookkeeper and CPA, but I really should have hired a really professional CPA when I hit a certain revenue stream in my business. So those two people right there are key.
Like that, when I hit a certain revenue stream, I just heard you slap that check in front of the teller again. and congratulations again on all of your success. Let's talk about finding a coach that is a good fit for you. How does one go about selecting a good, solid coach that's going to take them where they need to go and help them develop vision?
There are a number of people out here right now that are business coaches, So the thing to me is that when you contact a coach about helping you or a mentor, the number one thing you need to find out, one, have they been coaching, how long they've been coaching, and some of their success stories. But what's really key is that they have some kind of defined program to help move you step by step through wherever you're trying to get to. Because if they just say, hey, we're just going to meet you every week and talk, that's not going to help you. You need somebody to give you what you don't have. And a lot of times it's discipline. And somebody just, like when I coach people, they say, oh, I can have that to you in a week. And I say, no, what day? And they go, excuse me? And I go, what day? And I say the 23rd, and I create a contract with them right then saying, pay me on the 23rd or send me on the 23rd or whatever it is. So, but there are a number of coaches out there, but you have to explore, just like anything else, because it's almost like dating. You got to find somebody that gets your vision, and willing to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how
I
long
don't
did it take you?
everybody.
Go ahead. Say that again.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, no,
I
you
don't.
talk more on
when
that.
when I'm coaching and people want me to coach them, I don't take everyone because some people during that first initial coaching session, I realize that there's a disconnect. They're not going to really follow what I say. They're too busy talking. They know it all because I know I'm not going to be effective. Okay. So it's almost like dating. There kind of has to be this magical thing that happens when you meet your coach, and you say, they get me. Because it's bigger than just the business. They're coaching you, not the business. Okay? So they have to know how to talk to you. Like one of the questions I asked in my initial session is, when you get stuck, what can I say to you to get you unstuck? I asked them. Okay? So you got to have somebody that really understands you. And it's helpful if they understand your whole business thing, but we got Google University. I can research a business, but I can't research you.
Good point.
And do you find that people are transparent about their weaknesses? And so now I'm kind of going on an emotional intelligence tip, talking about being self-aware, just being open and somewhat vulnerable, since we're using the analogy of dating, to just kind of throw it out there.
Well, it depends on the coach, how easy they are with you to make you feel comfortable to have those discussions. Now, what I do also, like when somebody starts the coaching with me, I send them a self-assessment survey. I have them assess their self. I get a copy, they get a copy. So we start looking at it. They have to answer the questions honestly. If they know they're not a good leader, hey, not a problem. We need to make you a good leader. So I recommend training and stuff like that. So, but I think it has a lot to do with, once again, that magical thing with somebody really understands you and lets you talk. Okay, lets you, So it's kind of a spiritual connection, I want to say, but it has to be somebody that makes you feel comfortable enough to get naked.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead to a petty question. Who's easier to coach, men or women?
Women.
I knew he was going to say that.
I didn't even hesitate on that. Okay, 95% of my clients are women.
Hello?
Okay. And the reason is because when I meet with these women, by the time they get to me, they're ready to do something. And women will, if you give them a task or something like that, they go do it. Brothers won't talk about it. Can we talk about it? And a lot of times men are harder to coach. I even had to get a coach to help me coach men. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had to hire a coach to help me learn how to coach men because it's a little difficult because I think sometimes the man thing, they come in, they got this mano thing going on, and they won't open up as quickly and share as quickly as women will. Okay.
Well, I think I was talking to someone the other day. I think we had them on the show, and they mentioned that they're right now, especially 2016, there are more women opening up businesses than men by a large amount. So I think it all plays itself out. When you talk about who's more coachable and who's actually putting those things into play.
Yeah, and they're opening them because the government right now has tremendous programs for women. I mean, there's so many programs out that if a woman registers herself as a woman-owned business and a small business, small disadvantage, and a minority business, there's all kind of set-asides and everything just for women. Okay, so, but it's because a lot of the women businesses become successful a lot quicker.
Let me ask you a couple questions about habits and disciplines. How many books do you read per month?
You know what? I used to read a lot, but now I'm an audiobook king. Okay.
That counts.
I have
too.
a 45-minute. Okay, I'm a 45-minute to an hour ride into the town every day. So I just find a good audiobook. Like during the holidays, I read one on, content marketing. I've not read one. I listen to one. So, but I listen to a lot of books. Okay. So I do. Not only that, I subscribe to very informative podcasts. Okay. So I get all my stuff through audio and video now. And I used to be a big reader, but I'm getting kind of old now. When it starts getting dark, I ain't got the right light, and books, I mean, squinting and stuff like that. So now I just put on a headset, turn on Audible and a podcast. Now listen, but to answer your question, I am constantly trying to learn more. Constantly.
So you're successful, constantly trying to learn more. How much TV time do you have during the week?
I don't turn on the TV. The TV comes on like if I can't sleep 1 o'clock in the morning, and the only channel I watch is Channel 2, Me TV. I watch Ralph Cramden, the Star Trek, all the old shows. Okay, they weren't trying to give you no social message. It was just entertainment.
Right.
So I very rarely have the TV on. One of the reasons I don't have it on, because there's too many news breaks. In the news, if you start listening to that news, you will feel like the world is coming to an end. All right? So I stay away from the television. I rarely have the TV on. If I'm sitting and I have time, I got a podcast going or some kind of YouTube video or, how to work one of the tools that I use in my business a little bit better or something like that.
Hey, Mark, I want to jump in and just ask you about timing with a coach. When is a good time to get one? I know some people are hesitant at the very beginning when they're trying to put pieces together because they're either embarrassed that they don't have all of their, we'll say, ish together, or they just don't feel like they can afford one at that point. When do you recommend someone budget for a coach that can come in and help them not make a lot of mistakes?
Okay. Well, I liken that to physical fitness and training. When you make a conscious decision that you want to be very good at what you do, I don't care, like you've been doing running, I don't care what it is, training, and you decide you want to be very good at it, it's at that time you decide you need to hire a coach. Because you just can't do it on your own. So I don't care, so the time is when you're ready. And the fact is, when you talk about how much it costs, the question really is how much it costs if you don't do it. Okay? In small business, you could be spending a lot of extra money because you haven't got the right guidance. A right coach can tell you, like I have to tell people all the time, they talk about, well, I need to rent some office space. I'm like, no, you don't. You got to run that business from your house until you generate some revenue stream, So it's right from the beginning. When you decide you're ready to get serious, you need to at least have a conversation with a coach and let somebody tell you, Especially, what's interesting is that sometimes people come to me and they think they have a good idea, but it's not going to make money. So you could spend thousands of dollars doing something, and it's not working. If you would have paid whatever it is to meet a coach one time, he could have said, you know what, I've seen this before. You don't really want to go down this path. So it's whenever you get serious. You get serious.
Well, Mark, as always, man, I could talk to you forever. Where can people find you if they want to ask more questions about maybe a business idea or if they want to work with you in developing their business to the next level?
Well, two ways. One, they can go to Marc, spelled with a C, meetwithmarc, spelled with a C.com, and they can schedule a free introductory coaching session. I have a coaching site that's capbuildercoaching.com. That's capbuildercoaching.com. They go there, they can see all the programs that we offer. We do all of our stuff virtually, too. We use webcams. You don't have to come meet me. I don't care where you are. We can coach you. So I'm on Facebook and, every place else. And, of course, you can always come to the Survival Radio Network on Monday nights at 8:30 and see the hottest show.
Oh, where is Sandman Burns? Get this dude off the stage.
Sweet. Oh, man, there you go. Freudian slips will always get you. Will always get you.
Yeah, they will.
Hey, Mark, I appreciate it, man. Every time I speak with you, I learn something new.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, I appreciate both of you. You're doing a fantastic job. It's outstanding, man. We got a lot ahead of us, and I'm very excited about it.
Indeed, we do. Agreed.
Thank you so very much, brother.
All right.
All right, that is the one and only.
Michelle, one more thing. Michelle, when you get to the ATL, call her, brother. Let her brother know you're here. You know.
All right. We'll do. Absolutely.
All right.
It's been a minute since she's been here.
Yeah.
So, need to hook up. So, anyways.
All right. Thank you, brother. That's
all right.
Brother Marc Parham, Cap Builder Talk, Monday nights 8:30 p.m. right here on the Survival Radio Network, the second hottest show on the network.